What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be explaining what I think are the top 5 most overrated heavy metal bands. Number 1 would be Iron Maiden. You all have heard of them. Everybody knows who they are. And I honestly think, they're good and all. I like some of their music, but I just think there's so many other bands out there that are just as good. Like, they're just, everybody knows who they are. They got numerous albums. They've been around since the 80s. They were part of the new wave of British heavy metal is what they called them. But there's so many other bands out there that are, like, in my opinion, just as good, but they don't get all the audiences and they don't get all this credit like Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, in my opinion, they just got so much merchandise, like more merchandise than almost any other band I would know, like more merchandise than it just, everybody knows who they are, and to me they're just, they're alright, they're not bad. I like some of their albums. I would say Fear of the Dark was my favorite from them. However, I just feel like they're just very, very overrated. Number 2, you all have heard of them. Everybody's heard of them, Metallica. They are, I wouldn't even consider any of their new music to be heavy metal. They've, one of those bands out there that's just, completely changed. Right now I'm playing, right now I'm playing one of their, older, albums, some of their older music, which was a little bit more of the thrashy heavy metal, but there's just so much more bands out there, in my opinion. A lot of thrash metal bands I actually like better, as I never really was a big fan of Metallica. I prefer Death Angel and Destruction. Those are, in my opinion, those two bands, in my opinion, are very underrated. But Metallica is just, I don't know, it's just one of those bands that, kind of like Iron Maiden, like they just got too overrated. At least Iron Maiden, they had to change to the point where they're changing their genre. They kind of still play, mainly what they originally played always, like the new wave of British heavy metal. Metallica, I don't even think they even consider them thrash metal anymore. Today they just pretty much just turned into rock, pretty much. But that's what I have to say about them. Next on the list is for number 3, Slayer. They, to me, the way I see it is they're very, some of their music, like, I don't mind, but I feel like they're a little bit more on the generic side of things. Still, I think there's other, bands in this category, in my opinion, are just as good, that are less generic. But, everybody heard of Slayer, everybody knows who they are. They're one of those, another thrash metal category of the bands that, in my opinion, is a little too overrated. Maybe not as much as Metallica, but still, you get the point. Next on this list is, you've all heard of them. Most people have heard of them. People that aren't even into heavy metal have heard of them. But they all kind of like were in the glam metal phase of things from the 1980s. And, Sunset Strip. There's other bands out there that, are kind of in that category that I think are just good, or, sometimes I actually prefer or like more. One of those bands, Motley Crue is just, their music's good, some stuff of them I like more than other stuff. Like some of their albums I just don't like, some of them I do like, but they kind of went to the route like the other ones told you. They just got their name. You could have MTV kind of to blame for this, because everybody back in the day, MTV music videos was something new in the 1980s, and that what caused a lot of bands to get overrated. And my own thing is that I feel like it kind of made a lot of bands just go very generic on a lot of things. And Motley Crue is one of those bands, I feel like some of their albums are good, but some of them are very generic. And number 5, last but not least, Behemoth. A lot of people may have heard of them, but if you're actually are into heavy metal, I'm pretty sure you've heard of them. They're are a black metal band, which there is a lot of black metal bands I do like, and Behemoth, some of their music I like, you know, probably not one of those bands I don't like all of their songs, but there are some songs I like. But the thing I do like most about them is how they master their music after it gets recorded and mastering. I love the master, especially on the drums and everything else. I love the way they master their songs. That's what I really like about them. However, you know, there are other, you know, bands in that category that are black metal that in my opinion are just as good, you know, if not a little better. It is one of those bands I feel like that is very overrated. Like, even like on their, they got over, you know, millions of views on their music videos and everything else. Well, like some of these other black metal bands that I feel like I'm listening to, and some of them I prefer and I think I like better, that are just not, they're just not as overrated like this band is. But that is Behemoth. If you're into black metal, that has got to be the most overrated black metal band I have ever, like, listened to or even heard of. Alright, that wraps it up, and, you know, again, these are just my personal opinions and what I personally think the top 5 most overrated heavy metal bands are. And, you know, I want to hear what all you guys think your top 5 most overrated heavy metal bands you guys can think of. Just let me know in the comments. And next video I'm going to be talking about the top 5, in my opinion, what are the most underrated heavy metal bands that I can think of. So that wraps it up. If you like this, just hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.